Hello. Today we will check one of the important task creation of a performance document, which is a performance process flow. So basically, performance process flow, document types, and then template section, template, performance template. Those all together are the staging areas. So this all comes together while we create a performance template or performance document. Um, the first thing, once we are done with the document type, we have to create a process flow. So this process flow, it tells you what is going to be conducted in the performance evaluation. So here, if you see, these are the options that is going to be available. You get to choose while you create the process flow based on the business requirement, what they wanted to do, how they wanted to conduct the business annual review or any performance evaluation, how they would like to conduct it, how they would like to evaluate it. So, would they want the employee to perform the self evaluation themselves by setting goals? And then, would they want the manager to evaluate the workers' performance? And would they want to send the feedback from the peers, customers in this performance evaluation cycle? Do they do manager review once worker provide the evaluation? Are there going to be a review cycle as well after the evaluation? Because once a worker does it, manager provides his evaluation, employee reviews it, and then manager, he'll also give he'll add certain comments, and then manager review it, and then finally they submit it. So that review thing, you wanted to conduct it or not? And should there be an approval involved? After this review is completed, should there be a review meeting, talent review meeting? So everything as part of a performance evaluation, you would decide it in the process flow itself. So let's get into this. So these are the main things that we do when it comes to creating a performance process flow. Now I have logged in as an admin, and under my client groups, I have clicked on performance type, and inside the performance, these are the tasks available for the performance for a HR admin. So in this, you see a performance process flow as well. If I click on this, as of now, I have deactivated the Redwood page. I will show you what is there in the responsive UI, and then we'll activate a Redwood profile value, and we'll see what is the difference in the process flow. What is something which was there in the responsive UI is not there in Redwood, and we'll see that. So I'll click on that add icon. Here I would be able to create a I'll just give test process flow. You would have to provide the start and end date here. So what would be, I'll select the review period itself. So this would be my start and I can leave this date, end date as like anything. So this would be, it need not have to be tied to one performance evaluation or one performance document. No, if you, this is like a structure or the skeleton. If you know what is to be done for an organization, most of the times the skeleton remains the same. That is, the evaluation, how they conduct remains the same. So if it remains the same, then I can reuse it unless there is no changes. And once performance process flow is created or the template section is created, there are certain features which gets locked. You wouldn't be able to make any changes after. That is, once you tag them to the performance document template, you wouldn't be able to make the changes there. Okay. So while creating itself, it's very important. We understand the requirement. We very well know what is to be done on that template process flow. And then we get started to do, then we'll start with the process flow. Okay. So first thing we have, as we saw it in the PPT, is setting goals. Here, you allow the employee, manager can set the goals. So once you include this, as soon as you include this, this gets defaulted, which means manager, if goal assignment is possible, manager should definitely be allowed to add. Should worker can also set the goals, we will enable this. Can worker complete the task to set the goals? So can manager complete the goals? Can worker complete the goals to set the goals? So everything we will select it here. So this usually setting goals, any uh, business, if they are not opting for a, or if we are not configuring anything in the goal management separately, we provide a provision here so that employer and manager, as part of their performance evaluation, they could add the goals. Manager could add the goals to the worker, and worker can add assign goals for themselves from the goal library. Worker self-evaluation. Is worker allowed to do the evaluation task? Certain organization would not allow worker to perform any evaluation. So based on the performance, yearly performance, manager themselves would provide the evaluation. So based on how the requirement is, we will check these boxes. Once a manager has completed, will manager be allowed to edit the task? If it is not, you have to check this. Evaluation task, can it be done parallelly? If that is the case, we will allow this. Mostly it won't be. Once worker performs the evaluation task, manager should be taking over the evaluation cycle. So I'll just check this. And then include feedback. So participant feedback, we already know. If you want any questionnaires to be provided, you have to create a separate performance document of participant feedback template, and then you have to associate that to a performance document. But do you want to include that as part of it? That you have to decide it here. Can manager select the participant? Can worker select the participants? Can he add the questions? We saw if under feedback center, can we add, in the last session we had seen it, can worker themselves add the goals apart from what is there in the template? So if it is, you can allow this. And the manager can track the participants. Yes, most of the time it would be given. Can worker request the feedback from anyone? So can worker track the participant feedback status? They request it, and afterwards, can this track the status whether they have got the feedback from the person they requested. So that is here. And once it's submitted, once the feedback is submitted, is it going to get closed or completed, or manager is still allowed to reopen so that he requests for certain other people to also give feedback? So if that is the option, then we enable this. And participant, whoever has completed the giving of feedback, are they also allowed to reopen by, because let's say a participant, when they were trying to provide a feedback, they gave, but they felt after completing, they felt there is some more that they would like to have. In such cases, should they be allowed to make the changes after it? This is the option that you have. And worker can view feedback before evaluations are completed. So before the evaluation is completed, should worker be allowed to see what is the feedback he has got? We have allowed him to see the status. Likewise, should he be allowed to see the evaluation as well, or the feedback as well? That all options here, we have it here. And can reopen the submitted feedback. So it's similar to what we have it for manager. Now comes for approval. These things what we see is for approval. So should we include a approval for the task? So for every task, should we allow the approvals? Should we configure the approval? This is the first level. Yes, if I say the first level would be initiated. If I say yes for this, then the second, there would be a second level also gets unlocked. And automatically submit approvals when preceding task is completed. If I enable this, when the previous task is completed, it triggers an approval automatically. And then this is about a review document that is being shared to the worker. So once manager completes, uh, is are we allowing manager to share that evaluation document with the worker or not? So if it is allowed, if we give that a provision or privilege to the manager, then we can enable this to be locked for calibration. This, if you want, we can enable this. Um, and worker must acknowledge that document. So once he receives, should he acknowledge the document? And then include review meeting task. So, are we going to include the review meeting as part of the evaluation cycle itself? And should the worker acknowledge it? Include the worker final feedback task. So, there would be a review sent right after the evaluation. So that he would be sharing the document, after which uh, worker is allowed to give final feedback and manager provide the final feedbacks. So every task basically, how the performance cycle goes, what are all the tasks that is involved, that gets decided in the process flow. So this is the task and this is the task name. So we have seen all that we have enabled, right? Setting goals, work, self-evaluations, manager evaluation. We have enabled all of it. So all of this task has come. So what is the sequence of it and what is the task name for them? So that has come. So this is what is available in the responsive UI. But in the latest update, that is in 24 or 23 in the year, we have got an update that it has come in a Redwood. And why did I? That has come in a Redwood, and there is something which has got decommissioned in the process flow, which is setting goals. Because we'll see that. Because in Redwood, they wanted their focus is to make the goals as a separate, to provide all the goals in the separate place called a goal center. So since they wanted to highlight that goal center as a separate task, they have removed or deprecated the setting goals under process flow. So we'll just add that. So for this, so this is the general profile value which has to be enabled. Along with it, for a Redwood, it is performance. Performance goals red. Performance goals. Let me quickly check what is the no this. Document percentile at the end also will be the percentile. Yeah. So this one, this has to be enabled. So we have enabled both. Now we'll click on save and close. Done. So sometimes we have to log out and log in back. I'll just check if it has got activated or not. If not, we'll log out and log in back. Okay. I'm still in responsive page. I'm going to log out. Now I am inside the application. Let's go to performance. So I'm inside the process flow, which is in record. Now, if you see like what I was saying, setting goals has been decommissioned from the record page. So it's not that you wouldn't be able to set them in the process flow. It has to be configured separately, and that would be available in the goal center. While you evaluate the performance cycle, the goal cycle will not be there. Admin goals will not be there. But how do you still, based on the goals they achieve, staff achieve, how do you still have that included while you are evaluating performance? That is being done automatically. It requires some configurations. Apart from that, so when they are when they are adding any goals under the goal center, staff or a manager is adding, when that is being or I mean that is being completed, there is a progress on that. That can also be considered in the evaluation as both goals and performance will be synchronized. Even during the evaluating any time document, check-in document, there is a continuous goals discussion. Even in there also, what they do it in the goal center will be synchronized with the performance evaluation as well. So that was about the performance process flow. Once we have created the performance process flow, we have to create a performance template section. So how the performance template section has to be created and what are the important things? Why exactly we create a performance template section? We'll see that in the next session. Thank you.